Do you hate proc sets? Well, so do I. So I'm going to try to make everybody's life worse by telling everybody the top 5 best proc sets to use in the game. Hopefully this video blows up, and then hopefully everybody's running around with these proc sets. So, first of all, last time I made a video like this, top 5 PvP sets, it did pretty good. So today I'm going to do top 5 PvP proc sets, and hopefully that'll also do pretty good. Anyways, to define a proc set, we're not talking about acuities, technically a proc set. Talk about something that gives you free damage for doing regular things, such as sheer venom. You use an execute, you get free damage. Way of fire, you do a light attack, you get free damage. Nurarka, you do crits, you get free damage. Those are proc sets. Those are what we're talking about. Damaging proc sets, procs that do free damage. And the first set that does free damage, coming in at number 5, is Sheer Venom. Sheer Venom is a really strong set. It's a medium armor set. It comes from Imperial City Prison. And basically this set is super annoying. It's really good on any type of bow build where you're using poison injection, because that's considered a execute. So basically 2-piece max dam, 3-piece weapon spell damage, 4-piece weapon spell damage, really good lines. 5-piece, when you deal damage with an execute ability, you deal poison damage over 6 seconds, and it does up to 100% more damage to enemies under 100% HP. So this procs off of poison injection. It's really good on bow builds. Any build you're using poison injection, you're going to get a lot of value out of Sheer Venom. Any other build, not so much, but bow builds are so popular, with especially with casual players, that Sheer Venom has to make its way at number 5. I had a couple of options, or that could have made it in the number 5 spot, but the amount of times that I'm out in Cyrodiil and I'm playing and I finally die to 5 people and I look at my death recap and I have 126k Sheer Venom on me with like 85 ticks, I had to put it at number 5. Basically, you hit somebody with a poison injection, and the poison injection will proc the Sheer Venom off cooldown every single time, because Sheer Venom procs off of executes, and poison injection is considered an execute. It's not great with every type of build, but there's not many proc sets that are. Well, I guess you can use a lot of proc sets that are, but they're not as strong as Sheer Venom on the specific build that Sheer Venom shines on, which is why I put it at number 5. Some people might find it controversial. Oh, this set's not top 5. Well, I disagree. You go fight 3 guys with bows, spamming stealth, getting hit with 3 Sheer Venoms and 3 poison injections, and tell me how much fun you're having. Because I'm not having fun when I'm getting hit, but I'm having fun when I'm using it, because the set is extremely strong and very annoying for literally anybody who gets hit by this. Alright, coming in at number 4, we have Arms Relequen. This is the medium armor set. Comes from the Cloud Rest Trial. 2-piece, 129 weapon spell damage. 3-piece, Game Miner Slayer, which in PvP obviously doesn't matter. 4-piece, offensive penetration. 5-piece, if it's perfected, is 129 weapon and spell damage. If not, you don't get it. Not a big deal. And then your light and heavy attacks apply a stack of harmful winds to the target for 5 seconds. They deal X amount of damage per stack every 1 second, and it can stack up 10 times every half second and scales off your weapon and spell damage. So you can have 10 stacks of this at 100% uptime, and then you end up with like 3000 DPS, and I'm not even exaggerating. If you've ever if you're on PCNA, you might have ran into Charger Weapons, aka the GOAT. This guy runs around with a heavy attack build with Vampel, and he's using Relequens. All he does is he's super tanky, he spams heavy attacks, and he does a lot of damage because the 10 stacks of Relequens is doing everything for him. His build itself, or him himself, he's not really doing anything but heavy attacking, but Relequens is so strong, it's doing everything for this guy. I've seen this guy do nothing but heavy attack and 1v5 somebody. Okay, the set's extremely strong. It's really strong in duels. Meep uses this last patch as his main build. Albrick uses it this patch. Frizzy uses this patch in duels. It's really strong in duels. A lot of people use it. In open world, it's not the best, but in situations like Charger Weapons, it can still be really strong. Depending on how you build or how you play, Relequens can easily be one of the best sets in the game, which is why it's number 4. It's a little bit difficult to get for some PvPers, because none of us PvPers at least like really doing trials. They're fun every once in a while, but having to farm a trial for a set is not very fun for a lot of people PvP, but it's great for the PvEers who come to PvP and are looking for some way to be able to kill these guys who feel invincible, right? They go out, they see Eamon, oh, this guy feels invincible, there's 5 of us, we can't kill him. Well, guess what? Try using Relequens when there's 5 of y'all, and y'all are putting multiple stacks of Relequens on him, or you're hitting him with sheer Venom and Relequens and other proc sets. There's only so much damage even Eamon can take, and eventually he's going to fall. And they ain't going to feel so tanky when they're constantly having to spam heals because Relequens is draining all their HP. So, like I said, the set's super strong, really good. Not the best in open world, but it's just so good in 1v1s or attacking one person that it's hard to not put on this list. If you watch Eamon's dueling tourney, second place was Yumi, the one who lost the meet. Yumi's a really good player, used a Relequen's dueling build, got second place with it, did a bunch of damage, and trust me, I've dueled Yumi. That guy's build is absolutely insane pressure, and it's so hard to survive it. So, Relequens is number 4. It is getting nerfed next patch. Not sure how big the nerf is. Apparently right now it's bugged, and it's double proccing damage, which is making it like way stronger than it should be. And then it's also getting a little bit of a damage nerf, which shouldn't be too huge, but I guess we'll wait and see for that. Coming in at number 3, I'm just gonna sit here and let this clip play so y'all can enjoy this. Oh, look at me, I'm playing a game. Oh, there's 1 pull. Oh, there's 2 pull. Oh, there's 3 pull. Oh, I'm dead, I can't do anything. Congratulations, number 3 is Rush of Agony. Medium armor set. Comes from the Dreadseller dungeon. Need ESO Plus or the dungeon, which I think is Waking Flame, the DLC. 2-piece 129 stam recovery, 3-piece 129 weapon spell damage, 4-piece 1487 penetration, and then 5-piece when you do damage with a blink, charge, leap, teleport, or pull ability. After 0.8 seconds, it pulls all enemies within 12 meters. After 2 seconds, it deals a buttload of damage to all the enemies within 7 meters of you. And then this can happen every 8 seconds. Scales off your weapon's your weapon and spell damage. And then it does not apply crowd control immunity, which, as you saw in that clip that I just showed you, when I got pulled 3 times in a row, and then I got absolutely steamrolled and died, and I couldn't do anything. Because it doesn't give crowd control immunity. So right now this is like, there's 2 bombing sets in the game as far as pull sets go. You either use Dark Convergence or you use Rush of Agony. The reason Rush of Agony is here is because, first of all, the range on it feels ridiculous. There's no way it's 12 meters. It feels like 24 meters. It does a bunch of damage whether you hit 5 people, 1 person, or 10 people, and it's extremely easy to proc, obviously, and it's a lot harder to notice the Rush of Agony compared to Dark Convergence. You know, the giant purple circle is a bigger tell than the chains that come out and yeet you to oblivion, where you're probably going to die right after. This set is, like I said, works really good with bombers. People will use Streak with it. People will use Lotus Fan with it. This works with bombing. It works in regular group play. It works even in 1vxing or 2vxing, 3vxing. It works in basically everything. The only spot Rush of Agony doesn't see a whole lot of action is dueling, but even then, I feel like somebody could make a crazy Rush of Agony dueling build, but that's yet to be seen. So this set, next patch in update 47, is getting slightly changed. I'm not even going to call it a nerf, I'm going to just call it a change. The only thing it's getting nerfed to is for ball groups, because it's going to make an AoE on the ground, and then it'll pull everybody to that AoE. Same distance of the 12 meters, it'll just pull them to a stationary circle instead of pulling them straight to you where you are. So for ball groups, the set's going to be a lot less viable. Still going to be fine, though. It's just going to get a slight nerf to ball groups. It's still really strong. It'll probably still be a top 5 set next patch. And there's not much to say about Rush of Agony. You know, we've all been pulled 10 times in a row and then got Hulk smashed by a Necro. You know, it is what it is. It's what the set does. And enough talking about this set. Y'all see me use this set eventually. I got a crazy build idea for it, especially for next patch. Coming in at number 2, we have a very special set that has been nerfed literally like you know a set is broken when it gets nerfed like 2 or 3 times, and it's still one of the strongest proc sets in the entire game. And for that, we have Pyrebrand. You have to be a DK base class for this set, and it comes from Infinite Archive. This comes from, you can get this in literally every weight, every weapon, all the jewelry. You can get anything you want from it. So basically, 2-piece, 1,487 pen, 3 and 4-piece, 129 weapon spell damage, and then 5-piece, your light attacks deal 1,220 flame damage over 6 seconds, and then your fully charged heavy attack consumes up to 3 of your dots to deal even more damage, in a 6-meter radius, so an AoE proc, and it can deal up to 200% more damage if they're below 33% HP, so it also works as an execute. And then the set scales even higher off your weapon to spell damage, and then the damage is increased by 20% for each dot you have on them, up to 60%. So basically, when you light attack, it's doing an initial damage every single time of usually about 1,000 damage every time you light attack somebody. Sometimes a little bit more depending on who you light attack, but every time you light attack somebody, this does about 1,000 damage or more, right? I've hit 2Ks, 3Ks on it, and that's without crits, because this set no longer crits. When this set first came out, it was absolutely busted. It could crit, it wasn't supposed to crit. The damage was the base damage of it was a lot higher, and you could literally, this was max orc meta when people were spamming shields. You could get on DK, you could throw on Pyrebrand, and you could melt through shields and demolish any max orc you wanted to. The set was absolutely insane, and they nerfed it, and it's still here. A lot of people still use it with Ardent Flame. They throw on a Noxious Breath, and they throw on a Venomous Claw, and then they light attack you a bunch of times, and this is doing a bunch of damage. You've all seen the people with Fate Staffs and their Noxious Breath and their Ardent Flame, and they're light attacking you, and you die on your death recap every single time you see this set. This set is really good in duels, it's really good on 1vxing, it's really good for zerging. This set works for literally everything. Even if you're a werewolf, the set is really good on a werewolf. If you've ever been to IC on PCNA, you know about the werewolf groups, and you know that some of them will run Pyrebrand on a heavy attack build. So they spam the heavy attack damage on you, and it does a lot of damage. The heavy attack has been buffed multiple times, so it's actually not bad damage, especially if you line it up on certain builds. And then the light attack damage obviously gives a lot of pressure. Set is super strong. Pair this with Relequen, you have yourself a dueling build. Pair this with Rally Cry, you have yourself a 1vx build. And the set, like I said, it's a really strong set still, even to this day, after all the nerfs. So you could probably still use this set if you want to. If you're a base Dragonite, you might as well use Pyrebrand. Alright, let me get into my personal 2 honorable mentions, which could have made their way into number 5. These sets are just as strong, if not stronger, or slightly weaker than sheer Venom in certain situations. Obviously, you have Tarnished Nightmare. Tarnished has went through a couple nerfs now, but it's still a really good set. Delayed Burst in a burst meta is really good. It still does a good amount of damage. It's still AoE. It still applies Sundered. And it still makes that super annoying glass sound that will trigger players, making it really do more damage. Mental damage is damage in the game. You hear that glass sound, you know Diddy's coming. You better get to running. Tarnished Nightmare is here. Obviously, it's not straight up meta like it used to be, but it's still really good. And then, as our second honorable mention, I put in Venomous Smite. Venomous Smite, you'll see a lot of people pair this with sheer Venom. This set, basically when you crit, it'll make a little AoE on you, and does a bunch of point. Like it's actually really strong. It does more damage than Way of Fire, and it's AoE on you at all times when it procs. So Venomous Smite's really strong. It's good for 1vxing. It's good for being annoying bow ganker build, or whatever those builds are called. Snipers, I believe is what you call them, right? Snipers. It's good in 1vxing. It can be used with 1v1s. The set is overall really good in a lot of different scenarios. I've used it with jabs. I've used it on Nightblade. Really strong set. Those are my 2 honorable mentions. And now, everybody already expected this. It was in the top 5 PvP sets. It's number 1. All the proc sets, we have Nurarka. So obviously, we'll just go over Nurarka here again, like we did last time, and like we always will, because the set is super OP. And are they ever going to nerf it? Are they ever going to change it? I don't think so. So this comes from Lucent Citadel or Citadel, whatever you call it. 2-piece crit chance, 3-piece minor slayer, doesn't matter. 4-piece crit chance. If it's perfected, it gives 129 weapon and spell damage. And then, basically, every time you crit, you gain a stack of silver. When you get your 3rd stack, they merge, and they hit somebody for a bunch of damage. This set fits perfectly to the meta. It is the highest singular proc damage in the game, I believe. Or, like, not the absolute highest, but one of the highest. And the proc condition is a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to land than some of the other ones. This set is just so overpowered and broken. You see people use this in dueling. Ryder made a video on it. Sakara made 35 videos on it. Luca Cash probably made a video on it. I haven't personally made a build video on it since the set came out. But basically, when the set came out, like I said last time, it was AoE. It was super strong. You could tether somebody, and if it crit 5 people, all 5 people would get hit. Obviously, they changed it now, but they upped the damage of it for some reason since then. So the proc will hit harder than it used to hit, even though it's not AoE. And there's really nothing to say about this set. It's good on bow builds. It's good on ranged power builds. It's good on everything. 1vx, Zerging, whatever you want to do, you put on Nurarka and you're literally Himothy him, right? This is a set I should use, right? I should finally start using these proc sets so I can feel better at the game. Because Nurarka does so much damage, it's not fun. It's not funny. Zos, if you're watching this, please nerf Nurarka. Please, I'm begging you. You're nerfing Relequen. You've nerfed Pyrebrand 35 times, but you need to nerf it again. Gut the set. Get rid of Nurarka. I'm sick of this, man. This thing just flies at you. You look at your death recap and boom, there's Nurarka. 12k. Woohoo! Yay! I'm loving this game. Anyways, that's the top 5. Everyone knew Nurarka was going to be number 1. Crit meta with a set that procs off of crits that can crit and does a bunch of damage. You know, crit burst meta. It fits in perfectly with the meta. It's super strong. And that's all there really is to say about that. And peace.